So Tucker Carlson, many years ago, at least the upload of this dates it to 5 years ago, interviewed the Navy pilot that actually saw and recorded this UFO. Now, I don't think there's a debate anymore that there are UFOs. There are UFOs. The debate is who's driving. Aliens, other countries, us. That's the debate.
UFOs have been the stuff of conspiracy theorists for decades, often mocked for talking about it, but maybe they shouldn't be mocked. Commander David Fravor spent 18 years as a naval aviator, a pilot. In 2004, he had an unforgettable encounter with an aircraft he said was defying the laws of physics. Former Commander Fravor joins us tonight. Thanks a lot for coming on tonight. Tell us what you saw.
Well, we had launched on a routine training mission. When we joined up, we were told that the event was going to be canceled and that we had real-world tasking, and we were sent out to the west. Now, take in mind that this has taken place about 100 miles southwest of San Diego, between San Diego and...
So as he's going through his recollection of what happened, I'm not seeing any visuals or any memory reference. So this is all in RAM. And for some people who really just want to get the information out, they're nervous, and we can see he's nervous. He's very tight. They'll try and put as much preparedness into that RAM part of their brain so they're not accessing a lot. But after a while, you expect them to start referencing.
In Ensenada, Mexico,
Yep.
On a clear, perfect day, blue waters.
And so we just saw the reference there, blue waters, visual memory. So he had a lot in RAM. Pretty much he didn't want to seem like an idiot when he came out here, because even 5 years ago, this seemed kind of crazy stuff.
We get out to the spot where they tell us it's at. We start looking around, and both airplanes see a disturbance in the water and a white 40-foot long tic-tac shaped object just hovering above the water, going forward, back, left, right. There's no rotor wash, there's no wings, nothing. So as we drive around in a clockwise flow, we get to about the 9 o'clock position. And
apparently he's a very visual person. Usually that just goes with someone who's extremely logical. They don't really rely too much on emotional memory, but a whole lot of logical memory. And if you had been watching me for years, you know that it's a good idea to have a very good mix of one, logical and emotional. You don't want a psychopath and you don't want a crybaby victim, but a very good mix of it. There's nothing that's wrong with someone who's either more on one side than the other side, but you get a much more well-rounded memory recall. It takes into account more of what was going on other than just the logic and just the emotion.
I said, well, I'm going to go down and check it out, and the other jet is going to stay high. So as we go down, when we get to the 12 o'clock position, it starts to mirror us. So it's in a clockwise flow, and it's on the opposite side of the circle from us. And we continue this. It's in a climb. We're in a descent. We're getting a great look at it. This whole thing takes about probably up to 5 minutes from the time we show up. I get over to the 8 o'clock position. It's at about the 2 o'clock position, and I decide I'm going to go and see what it is, and it's about 2,000 feet below me. And I cut across the circle, and as I get within about a half mile of it, it rapidly accelerates to the south in about 2 seconds and disappears.
What would you estimate the speed?
All right, you see that big swallow and the mouth goes real tight after that? He was real stressed getting this story out. We know that it's littered with truth just based on some of the brain patterns we were seeing.
Oh, well above supersonic. It like a bullet out of a gun, it took off.
So from what you know about aerodynamics, mechanics, physics, should this be possible, what you saw?
Not with the technology that we have today. Not at all.
Even now, even 13 years later, is there anything that you know of capable of this kind of behavior?
No, there's nothing I know of. I mean, when we saw the video with the IR, it has no exhaust, no discernible things of anything form of propulsion. And this thing came from a dead hover over the water, just kind of moving around, to a climb up to about 12,000 feet to rapidly accelerating away in a climb, and in less than 2 seconds it was gone. And you figure you're talking 50 miles of visibility, and you can easily see an object that size easily out to 10 miles, and it just disappeared in seconds.
What would be the effects on a human pilot of the G-forces involved in that altitude change?
Well, the altitude wouldn't be bad. It would be the acceleration of the object.
That's right.
Honestly, I wanted to fly it.
Yeah,
but,
I bet.
Talking to some physicists, they don't think the human body could handle that kind of force with that acceleration.
It doesn't sound like the human body could. So bottom line, what do you think this was?
So this is what we're really looking for, if he has an opinion, if this was human or not. He wanted to fly it. He was very excited. That would have been a really awesome thing to fly. He gets through it. He talks to the physicists, and they say otherwise about human body being able to handle it. And that's when you see him kind of go tight-lip and swallow again. And it's like, he didn't want to say anything more. And it just goes back to, in his mind, logically, from what he knows, it could not have been human. Now, those of us today who's sitting there looking at the sciences that have been out, that aren't really talked about and not really proven, but makes sense, that they've been able to create bubbles with gravity and time. I always tell people, go check out the Anderson Institute. If you want to know what they theoretically know they can and cannot do, check out the Anderson Institute.
If you like it, please share and subscribe. Thanks for watching.
If you'd like to learn more about analysing body language, there is a video course available on Mandy's website for Gold subscribers.